Good evening. Happy Friday. Your week has been okay. I imagine most people might not be too okay, but hopefully this will help you relax. This is Soulstone Survivors. Is like a survival roguelite developed by Game Smithing Limited. Kind of one of those games that took off after success of Vampire Survivors. It kind of has similar gameplay style and loop. I first played this during the Steam Demo Fest like a couple months back, September, I believe. And this kind of cool, kind of unique. Then they had the prologue demo, which kind of let you play after the demo fest was over, and I put some time into that, and then they released it in early access, and I've been putting my time into this as well. Yeah, let's take a look at this, a closer look. And it is in early access, so still stuff that can be built on, but there's a pretty extensive amount of things here already. You got a bunch of characters to play as, unlock weapons, blacksmith. You can craft new stuff. Let's change your characters up a little bit. Runes, which are like a sort of a second tier perk system, kind of changes up your playstyle a little bit. Skill tree provides you universal upgrades and achievements. Most part and parcel with roguelites. You do accomplishments, you can unlock more things that you can find in runs or unlock for gameplay. Okay, so we can start with the basics. I think you start off with a barbarian, and just go in here, pick a stage. We're gonna dial it back. Start at the beginning, especially since it's also the first time basic level character. Not that character levels do much, but reason why they call it prestige. So as you can see, each character starts off with a skill that does things that hurts enemies some way, somehow. Usually will have an additional effect. Also, it just goes off automatically, right? You just need to walk around, position yourself, and aim if the skill requires it. This guy will just twirl around automatically every several seconds. So, like any other survival roguelike, you can have a selection of things to pick from every time you level up. So most of the time it's going to be just like passive perks like these. So I will pick the one that gives an experience boost and like a pickup range boost. An interesting thing to do for this game, just to tie experience boost and pickup range together. I guess it's to make it a bit more enticing. I know if they were separate, I would be less likely to pick them up. So every several levels, you get to pick an active skill and get a choice between 3. So I think I want to do is maybe demolish physical skill, and that seems to fit the barbarian, right? Also, all your skills fire off automatically, right? You don't need to press buttons or anything. You just need to move around, position yourself. The only other control you have is the dash, which kind of lets you move quickly in a direction. Your passive powers also have rarities, and they follow WoW colors. So, white from white to orange is the level of quality. It's gonna be purple. I would admit, rarity makes it so that I will usually pick the highest rarity power if it's like most conductive, because how could I say no to a really large boost, even if it's like probably redundant. Right, like right here, this is the green rarity power. I could use some crit chance, right? It'll up my crit chance by a higher amount, then the other two will increase their amounts. Here. Body slam. Ooh. Does bonus damage based on my maximum health. Is that 3,000? God damn. Okay. So, very much just to keep the barbarian healthy, because also means that getting health pickups for this character is going to be a lot more useful. Or health like upgrades. This is also another unique thing about this game, where occasionally you'll get a power that pops up that affects multiple active skills. So you'll see here these skills have certain types. Like this one is swing, area, physical, slam, missile, burst, slam, frontal, and this power here affects all skills of a slam type. So that means 2 of them will be affected for now, and if I have any future slam skills, they will also be upgraded accordingly. Those are pretty much a must-get, no matter what. If they show up, I'm just gonna pick them up, because getting a power that upgrades multiple skills is just very useful. I'm getting all the slam skills, alright. Get stomp. You just imagine this barbarian doing all of these all at once. Just like thrusting their body forward and stamping the ground, and then stamping their other foot on the ground, and also swinging in a circle to spin the axes. So the goal of each stage is to defeat Lords of the Void. From what I played so far, most of the time your goal is going to be to defeat 5 of them. And to summon them, you gotta defeat a certain number of small enemies. You can see on the top right there. I have to defeat 400 of them, and I am 60 away from that. Yeah, Titan's Cleaver probably, because it's another physical skill. Wow. Another slam boost, sure. So yeah, like I said on Twitter, this reminds me a lot of Diablo, with the way everything just looks, right? You got the isometric view, you got your action bar in the middle, you have the experience meter on the bottom, you get the boss meter that appears on top. Only thing it's really missing is a skill tree, but that's a separate thing. So yeah, now that we've defeated 400 enemies, our first Lord of the Void appears, and you just gotta cut him down. Let's see. I do have rerolls, maybe. Let's see what other physical skills we have. Ooh, don't worry. Quickly throw daggers in the direction you're aiming at, hitting enemies a total of 20 times. Yeah, let's do it. Guy's just nuts, just using multiple weapons. Barbarian, why is he using throwing axes? Nah, I kid. We're perfectly in character. So soulstones are like a giant currency. That you can use them. They're useful for unlocking characters or certain nodes on the skill tree. They also act as like a experience magnet, so they'll just draw on all the experience orbs that you left on the ground, which is kind of cool. Don't have to worry about running around to get them. These are both area modifiers, so which area modifier would be better to get? Probably demolish, because that's like more of them. So yeah, I gotta defeat 850 enemies for the next one. Ooh, another nice part. If you get So you can have 6 active skills, and once you get 6, once if your level up would provide you with active skills, you can just choose to swap them out with passive power-ups. But if you think, all right, these skills I'm satisfied with them, you don't have to worry about wasting a level, because you can just swap them out for passives. That's pretty cool. Lets you feel like feel less like your level ups are going to waste. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna get multicast. The other one though, 100% damage or 100% critical rate on a character on an enemy with full health. Pretty nice. I wonder if I should swap this out. And again, this would synergize real nice with Subdue. Could pull it off. But then again, if I have these two, I can start. I should probably start getting perks based on armor, power, and health. So maybe I'll just swap that out. Do I have frailty? No, I don't. Yeah, any skill that lets me boost my damage, probably worth picking up. Yeah, we're gonna get Whirlwind because that's blue. Yeah, we'll get Stomp. That's purple. Multicast, or no, cast frequency. That's basically like firing rate. Let's do a damage increase for Whirlwind again. Anything that gets within range is just gonna fall. Gonna fall like a sack of bricks. Ooh, look at that legendary power. Boost everything, boost all my physical skills, and guess what? I have all physical skills. This Barbarian's gonna super pop off now. Look at that. If you get like enough multicast chances, you just see projectiles just fly out. It's kind of a sight to behold. Type area. Oh yeah, look at that one. Really could use a health/armor passive. Yeah, Touch of Ice. That way we can slow him down just a little bit. Give them even less of a chance to hit me before they get to me, right? There we go with that. What's better than one body slam? Multiple body slams. How do they do it? Don't ask. Up here. Okay. I'll get. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Damage modifier, Titan's Cleaver. Okay. Sometimes it's worth not taking the higher rarity power. Especially if there's something else that can boost your damage. Because you know what they say, the best defense is a good offense. Yes, we'll just we'll boost Body Slam because that already does obscene damage. Why don't we make it even more obscene? That's real funny. I tried playing as the Barbarian the first time I started up Soulstone Survivors and I died. Straight up died. Granted, part of that could be chalked up to I was not familiar with the game, and also maybe I didn't have as many skills and what have you unlocked, but this is a rather marked contrast. Ooh, wait, armor power, yeah, I'll get resilient. Normally I don't get armor power, health, block power, but since I got skills that can improve based on that, as well. Wow. I'll get that. Holy cow, I just vaporized that Lord of the Void there. Didn't even stand a chance. Ah, there we go, Behemoth. 15 health. It's a tiny amount of health, but I mean, my body slam will be even more potent. Yep, more Behemoth. I'll make this guy just as chonky, tanky as possible. And will also hit like a boulder. Really buff, broad boulder. Ooh, I could get a good area modifier for flurry, or I could get more armor power to improve cleave. Yeah, let's get this. Anything that makes these throwing knives even more deadly is welcome. More health. So there's this concept, I think, that's like kind of originated in tabletop role-playing games, but kind of see it apply to other mediums too, like video games, called Linear Warriors Quadratic Wizards. And it's the idea that the growth in the power is different for physical classes and magic classes, right? For most physical classes, all your skills are basically like, you know, hit this person, and most of them will probably be like, hit this person harder, and if you level up, most of the time your ability's probably gonna revolve around you hitting things harder. Whereas with casters, you know, you're getting like more spells, more magic tricks, more more tools to work with that kind of have a variety of effects, right? So, for example, you might have like a fire spell, an ice spell, a lightning spell, poison spell, stuff like that. Allows you to kind of deal with a lot more situations, and so the idea is that the number of situations a wizard can deal with just grows exponentially as they gain more options, while warriors are kind of stuck with hitting things real hard. I know, you know, games are trying to get around that in some ways, so I'm trying to give warriors some options to kind of like affect the battlefield as well. Yeah, we'll get Leviathan. That's a bigger damage increase to everything. We are Lord of the Void at number 3. Basically, I'm just waiting for the body slam to pop, and then they drop. Ooh. Modifier skills of type swing. Yeah, let's do that. That cleaver is massive. Yeah, you can see here, or Barbarian here does have multiple avenues to kind of improve themselves, right? To mention, they do have some skills that have like different effects too. So the knife throw does some bleed. The other skills kind of stick an ailment on them that makes them deal more damage, stuff like that. So you get a damage increase for the swing skills. Oh man. Yeah, the only Diablo I really played for any reasonable amount of time was actually Diablo 3. And that was only after they patched out the auction house and all that stuff. Yeah, Diablo 3 post-auction house I found fun. So I have to confess I actually never played through the story mode. I kind of just like dropped right into seasons mode and did it like that. The only other Diablo game I kind of got close to was Diablo 2, and that was me watching a friend play it. And I remember being stymied a bit by the skill trees and all the things you could do, like the socketed equipment and the runes and the charms and all the wild ways you could build your character. I know people lament the loss of things like skill trees, but kind of like Diablo 3 kind of did skills in runes instead to just modify that. So I know even that went through some changes. I remember them saying that's rune modifiers for skills were originally going to be like random drops, but after some outcry they made them part of the level ups instead, which I think is a much better way to do it. Because if you want to see the end result of the other way to do it, see custom moves in Super Smash Bros. Wii U 3DS. Because like every character used to have like variants of the moves that you could equip on them, but some baffling reason you could only get them through most of the characters. You could only get them through random drops. I think the only moves that you got them all for were like Palutena and the Mii fighters. Yeah, everyone else you had to wait for the drops, and that kind of resulted in like things like, say, tournaments not allowing like alternate moves. And if you had a particular move that you wanted to use and you could never get it to drop, well, so too bad, so sad. Kind of a shame, because that's like a fun idea in theory. I just wish they'd provided a different way to do it. Like, I don't know. Like, they could have had, like, a character prestige level that you could have leveled up as you use a character and hit certain thresholds, you unlock new moves. That would have been one way to do it. In any case, custom moves, for the most part, did not return for Ultimate. They only came back for the Mii fighters. Like, not even Palutena got her custom moves, which is kind of a shame, because all her moves were like actually unique and not just like variants of their regular specials. Man. Wish I were more interested in Diablo 4, but to be honest, I really don't have much in me to buy or do anything. Try to associate much with Blizzard these days. It's kind of a shame. Like, it'll be quite a shame if Diablo 4 gameplay comes out and is actually okay. Especially since Immortal is kind of a mess. So this is another thing Soulstone Survivors is pretty big on, ailments. So yeah, as you might have noticed, a lot of passive powers give your attacks a chance to inflict a certain ailment on the enemies, and then you have powers like these, where if you inflict one ailment, you have a chance of inflicting another ailment. So if you can link up enough of them together, you'll see like a bunch of ailment icons just appear on top of an enemy. I'd actually get this one, pass over the damage increase, because all my skills are kind of pretty pumped up as it is. Oh, wow. Hey, I guess I made it to the end. Alright, I guess for the sake of the stream, we're just gonna end it here for now. can choose to go to the next stage, continue fighting, or crank up the difficulty on the next map. But we're gonna end it here. In case, wow, I actually did not. I mean, I probably should have expected to survive because that was straightforward. So yeah, after a run, go check out some things related to it. So can't get Barbarian's alternate weapon just yet because they're not at prestige level 10. Yeah, 4. And I guess that tracks since I was only playing like the basic difficulty level. Let's see if we can improve anything here. We can do crit. We can do the crit skills. They do cost like minor soul stones to start, but eventually your higher upgrades will start requiring these colored soul stones, which require you to fell the big bosses. I'm kind of almost at that point with all of these skills here. Save a little bit more for crit damage. Okay, so let's try a different character. We'll go with the Pyromancer. They're my personal favorite character because it's really, really easy to just build a synergy. Actually, I'd say it's pretty easy to build synergy with all of them because every skill kind of has their type on the bottom, so pretty easy to go, okay, I want all fire skills, and then you just pick all the fire skills and level up. Oh, I forgot to actually select them, so you gotta press the button down here. We'll go fight. So after you complete a map once, you'll unlock the curses, which is essentially like challenge modifiers. You can select them, and the difficulty will crank up one way or another. Like for example, healing gets reduced, explosive goblins appear earlier, more elites show up, meteors will just fall when you kill an enemy sometimes, like that. Let's jump in here, see how we do with that 10 curse level. I kind of dig the low poly look of this game too. It reminds me a lot of RuneScape. Kind of the way it looks, and kind of has that. You can see like the polygons. Right? It's got that sort of blocky feel to it. It's like a Virtua Fighter on the Saturn. It's like a Saturn. Let's see, just pump up my fire slash here. I was watching someone stream RuneScape recently. This is a game I haven't touched since like middle school, I want to say. No fire skills. All right, we're gonna reroll. Again. Hey, there we go. Firewall. But yeah, I was watching someone play RuneScape. I'm like, yeah. This game definitely looks the same as I remember. Admittedly, they were playing old school RuneScape, so I'm guessing that was intentional. I have not seen new school RuneScape. I wonder how that looks. But yeah, the streamer was just going through like one of the old quests and doing their skill grinding. Yeah, took me back. I think I played that game in like middle school for a period. You know, when you're a kid, you kind of look out for any free games you can because hey, you're not kind of, you know, unless your parents are like real generous, just get you anything you want. You're kind of stuck with options, right? You only can get so many things. You have a limited income. I think my allowance was like $5 a month. Although I did get bonuses for good report card grades, and that was a very good. I got good grades when I was in grade school, so and bonuses I got for credit report cards usually fairly generous. But yeah, when you're a kid, you kind of seek out all the free games and the free programs you can. So, you know, it was seeking out games like RuneScape and the like. Dang, I have reroll, so I'll just have to pick one of these for now. Or going on sites like Newgrounds, Congregate, realllyaddictivegames.com, just playing the free games there. Did a lot of flash gaming, because, hey, if I can't buy games, I can't play games with money. What am I to do? Ugh, now these games are really spiting me. Giving me any fire skills past my first two. And I used to be like super into Congregate. I think it was because like for a period of time, they had this feature called Badge of the Day, where badges are like Congregate's version of achievements, and if you got like the particular badge of the day, you would get like bonus points. And for a period of time, it was also linked with GameStop's like rewards program, so you would also get like a tiny amount of rewards points for GameStop, and it would also tie into like a site-wide feature they had called like Companions, where they were like these little pets that you could get. They did almost nothing. They were relevant for like maybe 1 or 2 games. Otherwise, they just sat in your profile and looked okay. And if you got like all the companions within a year, you could also get like a special award, or maybe get one that you failed to get earlier. And I remember having like a streak. I remember like having a really long badge of the day streak, like to the point where if I like missed a day for one reason or another, I would just get in touch with Congregate support and be like, hey, I some reason this badge of the day didn't pop. Do you think you could give this to me? Like most of the time, they'd come back and say, yeah, we can give that to you. We can see you earned the badge, so we'll just give this to you. And just happened for me for the longest time. Oh, so yeah. Oh, if you do have an active skill and you want to replace them, it's not like you're locked into these 6 skills. You can select a skill, and then they'll ask you, hey, okay, so which one do you want to swap out? And then you can swap it out. So that's pretty cool. It's not like, say, Vampire Survivors, where if you get 6 weapons and then that's it, you're kind of locked into those 6 weapons. You know, unless you pick the ones that can do a union or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. But I think after a certain point, it's like goes for most of these things, where it starts feeling like you know, you just becomes a lot of effort to just keep up, and eventually I just stopped getting badges of the day. I think it was like around the time that you couldn't get like GameStop rewards points for getting badges of the day anymore. Right, because it was like getting companions was not worth it after I got like this freaking 60 of them. Or was it like 250, I forget, but it was like many years worth of companions, and after a certain point it was like, yeah, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna get any E credit for this. No one's gonna be impressed by it. So I just stopped. think it was like partially that and Flash being like discontinued, so all the game browser games were gonna stop working, and so like what's the point with trying to keep up now? Man. Probably want dashes with like a way I'm on a slightly higher difficulty here. Wait, dazed. There's a reason why they're giving me dazed. I don't want to keep this skill, so I probably won't get desperation. Let's go with agile. I could use extra movement speed. It's kind of a vital thing for higher difficulties, because they're gonna start hitting hard and you kind of need to be on top of things. Multicast. I did notice that at several of the games I used to play like on Flash sites are now popping up on Steam. There's the Epic Battle Fantasy series, which I think I played a couple of games in that. And Crystal Story also, which is like another RPG-like series. I think I saw like the second one being on Steam. That's cool. Oh yeah, there's also like the Robot Once series. I think I picked up like the collection for that. It was definitely a fun trip down memory lane. Like yeah, I used to play this on the browser. I don't want to pick the might skill because I want to swap that out eventually, so I'll just get a frailty. Oh, also Henry Stickmin. Remember Henry Stickmin kind of catching on with like the VTuber community for a bit there. Calm down now, but yeah, it seems like everyone wanted to get in on it. I mean, it makes for the perfect type of stream game because you can react to that and have fun with it. If you get the references, you're like, ah, yes, hey, it's that reference. Cast frequency. I'll do Fateful Strikes. Maybe I'll get like a Doom synergy skill at some point. Can hope. Maybe I should put Henry Stickmin on the short list. I actually played through the collection like a year ago. Had some fun with it, recognizing all the references. But also have some fun having people watch me react to those references. Another Soulstone get. Damage increase. Oh man, no fire skills. Alright. Look at that. 5 skills can be upgraded with this power here. Don't care what it is, I'm gonna take it. It was area effect, but... So it's super useful, but still. Any sort of modifier that affects 5 skills is gonna be useful. I don't know what it is about me, but I just love like synergistic skills, right? Skills that kind of let you enable sorts of synergies, right? Like the ones in this game that are like if you inflict an ailment, you might have a chance of inflicting another ailment. It's really fun to get them all to connect and just have see the bunch of icons just like pop up above the enemies' heads, because you know you're just like mega hindering them, and that's just a real good feeling. It feels like you've kind of figured out a puzzle, right? It's like, oh man, I can if I combine these two together, I can get a result that's you know, greater than just the two of them individually. That's pretty great. And it works even if you, especially if you can figure out like a way to you know, connect them together without like having the game spell it out to you, right? So maybe not necessarily. I'm trying to think. You know, so like two skills are synergistic, but they don't outright say that they're improved by each other. But you know, if you read like their description or see how they play out, you realize that they're pretty potent combo. Can put them together. So that's always a good feel. So yeah, the difficulty does like ramp up pretty quickly, right? You can see we're only like the second tier of curses here, and we're already kind of having to work to take out the second boss here, or the third Lord of the Void here. This is why I do try to pick up like the movement boosts and the dash, of course, is super useful. This gives me more opportunity to evade because you kind of need to be mobile when the Lord of the Void is out. Got the big red attacks. That's a gameplay mechanic that I always like when a game kind of signals to you, hey, this is where a big hurdy attack is going to land. You might want to step out of that circle before the foe does their thing. Type frontal. I only have 2, but this will do. It is damage, so yeah. Like I liked it in Final Fantasy XIV. That was like the first time I saw like a thing like that, or at least when becoming like a major thing, right? Like every boss would have those sorts of attacks that would have the indicator appear on the ground, and that would be your signal to get out of that area because it's gonna hurt. And Dragalia Lost also uses it extensively. They even have like 2 types. They have like one color for if you can dodge or roll your way through the attack, and another if you can't dodge roll through an attack, which really mixes things up. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I might actually get this here. Reduce all damage taken by 2. So it's like a flat 2 damage decrease, which is pretty cool. Alright. Oh, wow. Took so long to fighting the boss that I defeated enough enemies to just bring the next boss in. Should get over there and get the Soulstone to get the experience drawn to me. Yep. Really wish I could get a 6 fire skill, but then again, sometimes it might be worth just taking like 1 buff and or 1 or 2 buffs and just slotting those in, because they power up all your other skills, makes them more powerful. So the benefits they give might be useful in that regard. Okay, well, just gonna have to keep playing a dodge Lord attacks. I also do appreciate when the ground indicators kind of give you an indication of how long it will be till the attack lands. Like this one, you see the red kind of fills up depending on how soon the attack's going to arrive. Pretty cool. I guess that would be my one criticism with the game, is that when you have like really huge effects, it might get so huge that you might miss like the ground indicators. See here, they are pretty hard to notice. Imagine someone who might not be able to see as well might have real trouble discerning them. And again, it's early access, so I do hope they find some way to kind of make these indicators a bit more obvious, or at the very least have some sort of option to make them apparent. So I feel like that would be really vital, especially in matches like these. I find it amusing that this game calls you know, your runs like matches. Feels like doesn't feel like something that they would do, right? Unless this is like some Soulstone Survivors, like a big sporting, their idea of like a competitive event. It's like Ziggurat. It's like the Ziggurat trials. They kind of warp into an area to prove that they can survive against a bunch of enemies. Guess it would make the word match make a lot more sense if this were actually like a match, like an event people were spectating, cheering on the competitor. I do appreciate that if a boss is off screen, they do have an arrow pointing them, so you have some idea of where to aim your attacks, so you don't have to worry about just flailing about blindly, hoping that your stuff will find their mark. So close to taking out Keithais, the prophetess. Just a little more, just a little more. Ah, there we go. They're dead. Very close to summoning the fifth Lord of the Void here. Ooh, health pickup. I should probably save that though. I don't want to pop it just yet because I'm at full health. Treat it like a med pack that's dropped and go over here. So remember, I need to go to the top left if I need to. Oh, heal up. I have noticed that certain Lords of the Void are easier to deal with than others. I say as I almost get killed by the one that I was going to say, yeah, this one's like really manageable. I guess at a higher difficulty, if they so much as touch you, could drop. Like I did not pick up that health upgrade. That run would have been over like right then and there. I would have just been standing there dumbfounded about, wow, how did I screw that up so badly? I got overconfident. That's what happened. I got overconfident. And you know what they say about overconfidence. It's a slow and insidious killer. That's what they say about it. I actually want to either pick up Resilient or Behemoth. I feel like experience boost and pick up range boost isn't going to do too much for me at this point. With armor power. Now, this game has two stats for power. They have like block power and armor power. And I'm not quite sure what the difference is between the two. I imagine they both like reduce your damage somehow. Just not sure how they do it. Actually kind of reminds me of Kingdom of Loathing, which similarly has like two defensive stats. I think they're called like damage. It's like damage something and damage reduction. Like one of them's a logarithmic based of damage reduction, where as the power goes up, the percentage damage you resist goes up as well. So like say if you had like 100 armor power, you would take 10% reduced damage, and if you went up to like, I think it was like 10, then 40, then 90. But as you hit each one, then your damage would go down, but like, for your reduction would go from 10% to 20% to 30%. So it's like a logarithmic. Oh wow, I am really tongue-tied tonight. Logarithmic scale. And then they also had a stat called damage reduction, which was just like a flat, okay, yeah, the damage is reduced by this number. So if you had like 5 damage reduction, all damage you take would be reduced by 5. It was an interesting way to kind of split defensive stats. Right, you had your big percentage-based reduction, and you had your flat number reduction as well. Uh-oh. Well, that was only like 3. It's the Lord of the Void I have to look out for. Also the elites, because they hit like boulders. I really need to find more metaphors than hits like boulders. I don't want to say hits like a truck, because trucks do not feel setting appropriate. So I wonder what else I could say. I could say like hits like a swinging log, or it's like a club. I mean, yeah, if you get smacked in the face by a club, that's gonna freaking hurt. It's like a... I can't think of anything else. It's like a boulder, just kind of puts that image in your head, right? Boulders are like rolling towards you, and you know, if it hits you, it's gonna hurt real bad, and in real life, be even worse than that. But yeah, it's like a boulder, you know, gets the point across real quick. It hurts. Really gonna hurt. I think it was that whirligig attack that one almost did me in because I got too close. I'm staying away this time. Just gotta keep my crosshairs trained on the direction of the Void Lord. Hey, I did it. Yeah, we'll get whatever now. And return to the portal. So yeah, the first time you complete a stage on a particular chaos level, or for the first time, your only option is to go back, which I guess tracks. There we go, another victory. Pyromancer's level 20. Them boys are cool, but have you ever had someone who cares about you? Me neither. Pass the milk. Welcome, worst nightmare. Alright. See what we can level up here. The way the skill tree looks, I have to imagine that they're gonna have some way to kind of put more skills on here. Whether they just add them through later updates, or add some way to open up more nodes on this tree here. So, grade critical damage, see how far that goes. Okay, so we stop there. There's another one that's... okay, minor soul stones. Ah. I think... man, the rest of... require big soul stones to collect, so... a bit of an impasse here. It's like one of these things about the games that have like multiple currencies. Eventually, you kind of run out of things to buy with a particular currency, so that one just like starts piling up while you're continuously playing games to get the other currencies to unlock the other stuff, and starts leading to like you having a giant stash of this currency that you can't spend because there's nothing left to spend it on. Like what's probably going to happen with minor soul stones now. They have nothing else to spend minor soul stones on. Go to the Hound Master here. I think I have their... oh no, I'm not level 10 with them yet, so I can't get their other alternate weapon. Runes, I only have the one still. Yeah, runes is interesting. So each rune will cost amount of runic power, you have amount of runic power here that you can increase by on the skill tree or doing achievements, and I'm guessing that dictates what kind of runes you can get and how many of them you can have. I'm assuming certain runes are going to cost a certain amount, so the green one's going to be like 1, I'm guessing blue's 2, purple's 3, orange 4. From the looks of it, you'll only be able to equip up to a maximum of 5, so I'm curious as to what these other ones will do. Because this one here does change things up, so all your random targeted attacks now are targeted at your position, which I'd admit makes them a bit more useful, because now it's like protects you. So that seems like a worthwhile rune to keep around. Any case, go here and try Curse 1. I tried this one earlier and I got absolutely brothel stomped. So let's see if things are different this time. So this character gets three dogs, kind of run around and attacks enemies for you. That's pretty cool. Also get a blunderbuss that launches bombs. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Then again, it just makes just as much sense as the barbarian who can just spin in a circle repeatedly without either getting dizzy or massively fatigued. So yeah, get frailty because it is a damage booster. Come in handy when I have to fight the Lords of the Void. And so for this character, I usually try to get like physical skills because starting skills are physical. So you just get something that's like either bomb or blast or burst. So we'll get that. Feels in character too, because it feels like the kind of thing you would load into a fantasy blunderbuss and just launch out of it. Like an explosive shot, yeah, absolutely. You can shoot that out. It's like a fragmentation shot. Go with damage increase. So yeah, you might have noticed the other like sort of little rocky type spots on the map. Those are like resources that you also have to shoot and break and pick up. As crafting each character's like alternate weapons requires certain types of resources. The nice thing is that the game will show you what it is, and the game does tell you what resources drop on each map. So if you need like some more of a certain resource, it's not too hard to just jump into a stage, do a run there, and get the stuff you need. Grapple shot. Another one down. Oop. Oh man, no physical skills this time, so a reroll. Ooh. Death Claw. Explosive Trap. Yeah, maybe I'll get this one. Let's take care of some saps that run into it. Reloads pretty frequently, pretty quickly too, so I feel okay picking that up. Multicast. Ooh, this one would be nice. I just have to remember to pick up the next burn skill I find, or burn power. I can get them to synergize. What's better than dealing damage over time? Also slowing them so that gives them more opportunity for the damage over the time to do them in before they reach you. Gonna reroll that. Ooh, bladed chakram. Feels rot. I don't like the implications of that for the chakram. I wonder if there's a power that will give me like a rot synergy. Guess we'll find out. They have a lot of ailments in this game, right? It's not just like your standard burn, freeze, poison, stun. They have things like rot and fragility and bleed. I already said bleed. I guess bleed's not that unusual to begin with. Hypothermia. See, this is where the chain begins, right? Get burn, has a chance of dealing slow, has a chance of dealing fragility. I think there's a skill that if you like inflict fragility on someone, you have a chance of dealing another skill, and you know that one ailment you deal could spiral out of control real quick, and just end up with like a ton of icons above the enemy's heads, which is again real cool, real nice. Starts looking like an MMO, basically, an MMO raid boss. Right, everyone's just like firing off all their buffs and debuffs, and you see like a zillion icons just like appear under the boss's health bar. And a zillion icons appear under everyone else's health bar too. Man. Buffs are kind of like a mixed bag to me, right? Status boosters. It's nice when they feel like they're needed, but there does reach a point where if they feel like they're required, they kind of lose their specialness, right? I like it when the buff kind of gives you that feeling of an edge in combat. It does not feel like something you absolutely need to survive. You can especially see that with like the defensive buffs, right? When the defensive buff is either the difference when like there's a difference in feeling when a defensive buff means the difference between like going down in 10 hits or 9 hits, or the difference between getting killed in 1 hit or surviving that 1 hit. The former makes it feel like a nice bonus. The latter makes it feel essential, and kind of makes it annoying too, because now it's like, yeah, you can't just pop that off whenever. No, you gotta save it for this a spot where you might potentially get one shot, or you will get one shot if you don't have the buff up. So yeah, that's my opinion on buffs. They're fun, but when they become required, they're less fun. I guess that's where the term DPS check comes from, right? It's like, okay, not necessarily where the term DPS check comes from, but they're pretty. They show up a lot, I imagine, in DPS checks, because yeah, a DPS check is like when a boss does a thing that you have to attack them a lot to kind of interrupt them, or else something real bad happens to you. And if a buff is like absolutely required to meet the DPS check, it kind of sucks the fun out of it. Because at that point, it less feels like a fight and more feels like an exercise. Feels like a task that you kind of have to make your way through. Oh man, I picked up some improvement skills for the bladed chakram. But I have this frag shot here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sacrifice my chakram for it. Maybe I should have sacrificed Explosive Trap instead. Nah. It's my only source of burn at the moment. I need a burn power to come up. Agile. Fire shield. The multi-cast chance booster. Tiguru, the Eternal Guardian. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should swap out Explosive Trap for this one. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Just have to hope that I get a burn power at some point. This one's a bit trickier because the mortar shot does have a specific range. So I do have to be a little closer to the boss, which might not be the best option to pick for some of these bosses. I think that at this point, my hounds might be outclassed. They're out there, you know, dealing their hurt, but I'm a lot more capable of dealing hurt as well. Touch of ice. I can at least deal some slow, inflict some slow on enemies, make them slower. Have a higher chance of proccing fragility. Oh, now I'm getting smacked around. I also use a damage reduction power. That would be nice. Go with a movement booster. How much movement do I have? Nice that they do give the stuff over here. Oh, I guess I can look at armor power and block power, right? Reduces all damage you take by a percentage. Your current armor reduces damage you take by 5.7%. Okay. I'm guessing this is like a logarithmic scale 2, so this number is just plugged into an equation which returns a percentage. And block power is... Oh, okay. So blocked is just chance to just completely negate the attack. See? Reduce it to 0. Yeah, and damage reduction is like Kingdom of Loading damage reduction. It's just how much damage is reduced. I do wonder how the damage reduction, where the damage reduction factors in, because depending on where it goes in, it can be supremely useful or almost useless. So, right. So, like, say if damage reduction is kind of taken from the first number, right? Like, for example, if I like take 50 damage and have a damage reduction of 2, if a 2 is taken out of 50, then damage reduction is just nigh useless because its effect is not going to be very pronounced, but if, say, the damage reduction is subtracted at, like, the end of the formula, so, say the 50 damage is run through the formula and it goes down to, like, 6, and the 2 is subtracted from that, it becomes immensely more useful. Because, you know, damage reduction there is just much more effective. I have to imagine that damage reduction in this game is taken out at the end of the formula, right? It's the last thing they do, as opposed to, like, being in the middle or one of the first things, because its usefulness will change drastically depending on where it applies. I wonder if there's like some sort of skill that scales up depending on I have a fragility. I think so. I'll get that one. I was gonna say there's probably like some sort of shield bash skill that scales up based on block power. Feels like a thing they would do for this game. So yeah, you do get flung around too. I think there is like a specific stat that kind of determines like your weight, which determines how far you get knocked around by certain attacks. I do find amusing. Yeah. As with most games of these type, after a certain point, the cannon fodder proves to be mostly ineffectual, save for maybe a couple of really tough... Ah, there we go. There's our burn skill that we need. Alright, now things are gonna start popping off. But yeah, at certain points, like the higher tier enemies are the ones that still pose a threat. Are the only ones that still pose a threat. So like the Lords of the Void, the elite enemies, which have a yellow outline around them. Or certain enemies that can, like, perhaps mess you up real good. Like, you might have seen some spiders running around. If those get a hold of you, they lower your speed drastically, so makes it a lot harder to dodge everything else, so, yeah. It's a kind of effect that can snowball if you're not careful. Anyways, we took care of that, so we'll get in there and get our stuff. I have to check my movement bonus, see how much longer I can take those Leviathan powers before they start affecting me negatively. Movement speed, 25%. That's a decent amount. I can live with that. I have to make sure to not take many more. Otherwise I start going slug speed and probably won't do too well. These final two Lords of the Void. Let's see if I can get through this without getting bodied. It's real easy to get bodied. Especially in higher difficulties where, you know, you get the things that hit you like a boulder and they just smack you once and suddenly you're just like flopping around the ground. Yeah, spiders are always one I watch out for because they really do a number to me. Ooh, type missile. It's 3 of them even. Alright. Wasn't even reading what it said, but I was like, yeah, 3 skills, yep, I'll take it. Yeah, and I got a bunch of multicasts, you can see projectiles flying out. Thankfully, slightly less annoying than the Pyromancer, because there's no sustained flames, it's all mostly explosions and stuff. They do obscure vision by a significant amount, but it's not for as long. Imagine still would pose a problem for those who might be vision impaired, but okay, wow, I kind of chewed through this one. Okay, see, now this is where it starts getting hairy, because I'll have like a 10% movement boost, which is still above a normal rate, but you know, it's getting hairy. But on the other hand, it's a 30% damage boost, so it's not an insignificant amount of damage I'm getting there. See, they also have a melting. Reduces armor, deals 920 damage. So it's like a combination burn and damage boost. Very interesting. I think I'll stick with what I have. Get expansive. I forget if I have a power that lets me deal bleed in some way or another. If I haven't, I should probably look for it. That'll open up a whole new avenue of skill synergies. So I think like the hounds respawn. You might have noticed that they have like blue bars over their heads. I just have to assume that that's their health. But I still see myself with like 3 hounds even this long into a round, so I have to assume that they only get like knocked out and come back after some period of time, or they just get like replaced after a certain point. Oh man, I just like completely annihilated that rock. Not stand a chance. Dwayne Johnson, you hear that? The rock doesn't stand a chance. Let's do more burn chance. I have to say, one of the things I like about this game is that dashes reload simultaneously. So if you dash twice, you can see that each counter kind of reloads. So it's like only after your first dash that if you use all your dashes, they all come back like really quickly. So you don't have to worry about, say, hammering the dash key and just dashing one at a time while waiting for your other dash to recharge. Damage increase in the shrapnel bomb. We are very close to facing off against the last Lord of the Void here. You wonder how badly the difficulty will spike. I remember not having much trouble until the very last Lord of the Void the last time I tried this run. Granted, I was playing a different character, and I guess my skills... I could not get a good mix of skills that other time because... seems like I can kind of vaporize them pretty easy. I guess it didn't help that I was also facing off against like the Fire Lord, which has that flamethrower attack, which I really do not like. This one's a bit more manageable because it seems like most of their attacks are like close range, so if you stay a certain distance away, you can take them out easily. On the other hand, if you get too close, they'll make short work of you. Doesn't matter what I get now, because I will return through the portal. Wow, wait, did all my hounds get like a fire shield as well? Wow, that makes fire shield with this character like a lot more effective. It's kind of neat. Actually reminds me of Risk of Rain 2. There's a character like called the Engineer in that game. He throws out turrets. The fun part about the turrets is that whatever passive items you pick up, their benefits also apply to the turrets. So you can have some real fun things going on if you manage to get like the right passive items. So like, say for example, there's like a passive item in Risk of Rain 2 where it activates like a heal over time if you stand still, which, you know, for your character, not very useful because you want to be on the move like maybe 99.5% of the time. But for turrets that stay stationary, that's immensely useful because, well, they're not going to move, so that healing is always going to pop off. It's like pretty cool, right? Guess we're gonna go back to the menu here. Let's see, they're level 8, so I can't get anything with them, but I got Spellblade. Looks like a mix of magical and physical. So yeah, they also have like unique skills. I guess is the the way you unlock them is... how do you unlock... Oh... Check out achievements, perhaps. Okay, maybe you have to level up their prestige levels and get like their exclusive active skills. Man, interesting. In any case, let's switch to Spellblade. Can I get anything with my current amount of soul stones? I like how the banish skill starts with just 5 of the yellow ones. Oh! Huh. See, this is what I get for not reading tooltips. I did not realize that the colors corresponded to the boss, so... yeah. That explains a lot. Yeah, some of these later skills, like this one, requires 5 of the green ones. Gotta defeat the 4th boss a bunch of times. For this one, boost health restoration by 10. Defeat the first boss 5 times. That seems kind of disproportionate. Alright, I should probably get something, so we'll get armor. No damage reduction this time. I could go for crit boost. Or that is crit damage modifier. This is a crit chance. Yeah, let's do that. The rest of these require red. This one requires blue. I don't have that much blue. I wonder if I should get a banish. I don't find myself using banish that much because there aren't very many powers I want to do away. It doesn't feel like banishing is quite as vital in this game because most of the stuff you can get will at least benefit you in some way or another, and even if it doesn't feel like as big of a loss as it does in, say, like Vampire Survivors, where you have to race to get certain passives and weapons so you can evolve your weapons as quickly as possible. So banishing in that one at least makes a bit more sense. I guess banishing might come in handy for, say, if you want to banish like certain active skills from showing up again during that run. Get the first one. Ooh, I can get the second one already. And the third one. And the 4th one. No, not the 5th one though. I'll get this one also, a revive. Oh. I got one opportunity to get back up if I take lethal damage. Okay. Enough dilly-dallying, let's just jump into a map. I'm actually gonna scale it back for this one for now, since they are a fresh fledgling Spellblade. No guts, no glory, let's do it. Pop everything. Even if they fall, they'll at least get some experience, right? Yeah, ice level, again, appropriately desolate sounding music. Right, you kind of get that note that kind of gives that feeling of peril, as one might feel like if they're kind of stuck in a cold area, cold wilderness, and there's a bunch of enemies bearing down on you. Like, yep, this is going to be a desperate fight for survival. Is this fun running circles? I guess the nice thing about the spell blade that I have multiple ways to build a character. That said, I do have a slash. Oh! Wow, skill type arcane. I did not realize that. So, okay, there's two ways to build a spell blade, at least with this weapon. You can either go an arcane route or you can go a physical route. I might want to try to go for arcane. What's that? Or actually, maybe I'll just do this. Because it's an uppercut. Uppercuts with a sword, like, rule, right? Alright. This spellblade is going to be a physical spellblade. But maybe a skill, ice skill, or a lightning skill to kind of mitigate the mobs, slow them down a little bit. Go with a behemoth. Maybe I won't. This fella has 180 health. I might actually just go with cast frequency boost. Even if it's just 5%, that means 1 out of every 20 attacks will cause the active skills to proc twice. Or activate twice, which is fun. I'll go with a lethality. Critical damage modifier boost. Okay, see, this is where I might go with like a buff here, since it is arcane type. Just increases my multicast chance, which is pretty cool. Type frontal, yes please. I think those skills also like affect like future ones, so if we got like a future frontal skill, those would be automatically applied to that as well. Wow, another one. 2 in a row. It's unheard of. Okay, maybe not unheard of, but I rarely see that show up. Yeah, I'm going down the physical route, so I probably want to roll that. Ooh, this one's also a frontal skill. Can start picking up armor power skills as well. Let's do that. Just swinging all the weapons this time. I'm emphasizing the blade part and de-emphasizing the spell part. Spell part's mostly going to come in the form of buffs. I hope I get like the might buff. I wonder if this is a thing the spell blade can get. Because yeah, each character does have a set of skills that they can pick up, depending on their character. Guess whichever one's like most character appropriate, so like the caster classes, more likely than not probably not have access to the physical skills, while maybe some physical classes might not have access to some spells. And that's on top of the character-specific that you can get. Do I want to just get Flurry, or do I want to re-roll and see what else I can pick up? I'm gonna re-roll. I already did. Keep re-rolling. Starting to regret my decision. God damn it. Okay, I guess I'll have to pick one for now. Get Frostbolt. Slow him up a little bit, soften him up, so I can cut him some more. That one's gonna get replaced. Yes, it's these types of games that also really has you letting go of what would be called the sunk cost fallacy, so it's definitely something you have to try to let go. Like, you know, even if you might have put like a couple skills in, powers in that might affect that one specific skill, if you come across a better one, even if it'll means like abandoning a bunch of powers and wasting a couple level ups, may as well, instead of investing in a thing that's that's just gonna be not as effective for you in the long run. Something you gotta be mindful of. Like right here, right? I'm gonna swap out frost bolts, so I don't want to get like a frost bolt specific power. Instead, get venomous. Hope I get a skill that I can replace later. Also gonna replace the lightning, chain lightning bolt. Cast frequency. I am curious. There are a couple of achievements kind of related to clearing a stage within a certain amount of time. I wonder if that'll just come down to leveling up skills enough and getting like the alternate weapons or enough powers, or maybe I have to wait for like runes to really up my damage potential. Because it does feel like right at this moment, getting to slow. Maybe I'll get that. Yeah, get that. When are you gonna give me more physical skills? Time I'll just pick resilient. Boost the cleaver's damage. Man, just seeing all the blades kind of swing their way through. Just imagine the spell blade just rapidly swinging the sword around, deftly cutting up their enemies on the field. That. Move a little faster. Would be real nice if I got like another buff or another physical skill or anything like that. The 8% multicast chance. This cleaver's gonna pop off, yo. Look at that. That was like several cleaver swings at once. It's crazy, I tell you. We're about to fight the second lord of the... Ooh, quick strike. Based on your movement speed. Ah, now I have a reason to pick up agile powers and not get Leviathan powers. Yeah, let's do that. Do I want to replace... Yeah, we'll replace a Thunder Strike. Also, Thunder to describe lightning attacks. Grr. Man, what is it with games and using the word thunder to describe electrical attacks? Like, man, I learned in science class that thunder is the sound. Lightning is what you call the little electrical effect that happens. I think there's like only one game specifically that I remember that kind of addressed it. It was like Kid Icarus Uprising, where the protagonist Pit would say, "Oh yeah, well, your thunder or something something," and the character who used like lightning powers and stuff. It was like, it's not thunder, it's lightning, and they would go on about that, and I found that like pretty amusing. I have to blame. I blame like all the RPGs that call the lightning attacks thunder, whatever, for that. Just ingrained thunder into the head. I don't know. I think lightning sounds cool too, right? To an extent. Does thunder just have a bit more of a cool factor to it? Is that all that is? Man, 7 minutes in, only 2 Lords of the Void. I haven't been paying attention to see if that's like just par or not. I have to assume it is, because I think most of my clear times seem to hover around like 14 to 18 minutes. I have to imagine it'll take runes for that time to start going down significant by any amount of significance. So you'll get additional armor power to improve cleaver. The damage increase. Cutting them up here. You like how they call like the buff stat like buff potency. That's like how much the buff will improve the particular stat improves. So it'll improve my multicast chance even more now. Yeah. Now it's up to 80%. Up from 50%. That's pretty nuts. There we go, number 3 finally. Although, oh man, I can't get too close to this one. Oh no, it's not the one I was thinking of. This is the shadow one. The other one, it's not the one with the whirligig attack. Okay, this one will be a little more manageable. Go with agile because I do have that skill that improves with movement bonus. Man, anything gets into swing rage, they're gonna take a lot of damage. Kinda good. I'm in an okay spot. Ooh. Fortunately, I don't think I have anything that deals bleed damage, so that's not going to do much for me. Switch to that, and with Resilient. I'm sitting on a pretty good health pool, so I can just take a ton of hits now. Just slap the top of this spell blade. This bad boy can fit so many hits. Or can fit so much health. Can fit so much punishment. Yeah, we'll go with that. I need to move around this area some more. It's probably like bunch of resource nodes that have popped up that I'm not picking up because I'm hanging out in one spot. All this frontal damage makes spiders not a threat either, because if they get walking into the damage zone, they get super cut down. Get cut down so hard. Ah, why not? We're still got another 700 enemies to fell here. I can probably afford an experience boost. That's the thing about these percentage things like the experience boost. You start thinking of them not in terms of kind of like the immediate effects, but the long-term effects, right? You think like okay, 10%. Depending on where I'm in the match, how much more experience will I get? How much extra experience is that going to get me? And will it be enough to get me a level? Maybe you can't like get the exact math of it, but you can usually get a feel for it, right? If you're like pretty far into the game, pretty far into a run, you might think, yeah, maybe not. Or if you're early on, you try to perhaps prioritize your experience boosters, your money boosters, your resource boosters a little bit more, because you know you're gonna be able to squeeze a bit more of a benefit out of them. Yeah, this one's not too bad until they start doing their whirligig attack. Like right there. Good thing I wasn't in range, because that will probably do me in super hard if I was. So wait for them to stop. Please stop anytime now. There we go. And I cut you up. I slice, I dice, I make julienne fries. Wonder why slice, dice, and make julienne fries became like a common like, phrase. I think I remember reading up on what julienne fries were and thinking, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense now. I just completely forgotten why that turn of phrase makes sense. I think it's like the way they're cut. Like the particular knife is real good at kind of producing that kind of fry, I guess. Pretty close to 2,600 already, man. Stick with ice shot. So I'm running circles around the opposition right now. Yeah, go with that. Another 160 enemies to defeat, and we'll face off against the 5th Lord of the Void. I do wonder if they'll, like, include, like, some semblance of a story. Or not. Even if it's just like, oh hey, a cutscene after hitting a certain threshold. Just to explain why these people are kind of dropping to random areas, mowing down legions of enemies and collecting materials and soul stones. These devs actually have like another game planned that's kind of in a similar style. I have to assume it's like in the same universe, except that one's an action RPG, while this is more of like a survival roguelite. Oh, here we go. The final Lord of the Void. Ooh, this one's gonna be a little tricky. This one has a couple of long-range attacks, a couple of damage fields they drop, so you will be restricted in where you can move. Oof, that was only 28. Yeah, guess having a lot of armor power does come in handy. Yeah, we are cutting them up pretty good also. I think we'll be okay. I think we're gonna be okay. And another one falls. Another one down, and another one down. Another one bites the dust. Actually, doesn't matter which skill we get. We'll return through the portal. We are getting the heck out of here. Getting back into the warm place. Oh man, it's starting to get cold around my area. Finally, cold weather's starting to seep in. It's been kind of flip-flopping between cold and warm these past few weeks, but I think cold's gonna be the default for now on. Which finally means I can bust out my winter fashions. Oh yeah, I've been waiting for it. I can't wait to bring out all my big comfy clothes and wear them around town. I have 5 purples, rogue soulstones. Let's see if there's any. Can I get with that? It's either that or banish. Might as well go with the revive. You saw in that last match, I did not use any banishes despite having banishes. And I do have 2 of these. I can either increase block power or wait for damage reduction, or maybe go for these first since, you know, it's more damage. Need a lot of these first round boss stones. Alright, we'll go with the Arcane Weaver next. I actually want to stick with... Or maybe not. Maybe I want to go with this one because it's got fire. Fire, yeah. So select that. Jump into the Dungeon of Despair. Pop the curses and get in there. Yeah, this one's fun. Like, their base level skill also kind of homes in on a number of enemies, so basically, as long as you're close to an enemy, they're gonna get hit. You don't have to point in a particular direction. The projectiles will do the work for you. So I guess this must be curse specific because they are taking significant number more of hits to go down. Burn them up. Ah, it's all fire. I'm gonna reroll. Reroll again. Alright. Might it is. Damage boost I can live with. I haven't brought it up, but the music in this game is kind of funky as well. It's like got a bit of a techno feel to it, bit of a club kind of feel to it. The kind of music you might hear in like a club, right? If someone's doing like a video game themed rave, this might not be a bad tune to play. Go. An experience booster early on, hopefully come in handy. I probably need another actually active skill. Please give me fire. Why are you not giving me any fire skills? Alright. Missile burst magical. Oh, this is also missiles, so I guess we're going with missiles. Alright. No elemental synergy, it's gonna be all missile synergy. Actually, might not be a bad idea, because then I have a wide variety of ailments that I can perhaps build off of. Oh, now you give me a fire skill. Thanks. There's also missile, so why not? Not to mention, Arcane Disc does have it does deal the ailment that boosts damage, so could be worse. Get the feeling that I might not survive this run. Get a multicast booster, why not? Open on either another arcane skill that deals ailments or another fire skill, either one I'll live with. Touch of ice. Slow him up. It's cold fire. It's icy hot. Ice to dull the pain, hot to relax it away. If I want to go with cast frequency. That way my attack up buff will stick around for a little longer. Oh, there's my flame area of effect skill. It's not missile though. Although it is magical, maybe that will be enough. Yeah, we can get this for now. Perhaps swap it out if something better comes by. Alright, first Lord of the Void in this zone. I like how the music has kind of like two variants. It's got the one variant where you're just dealing with the monsters, and another variant that starts up when you're a Lord of the Void is present on the map. Slightly more intense. I do like it when games acknowledge when a situation's getting a little more hairy. I think I first encountered sort of dynamic soundtrack in the Dot Hack. It's like the Dot Hack PS2 games. They had their calm version when you're just exploring the map, and their intense version when you're fighting enemies. Ooh, see, this is the one I was thinking of. Exposed. We get like multiple instances of exposed and just let the fire just kind of do them in. That should be a good combo, right? The swap out. Or no, this one has stun though. We should cancel and just switch to. And on the other hand, I could replace the arcane discs with these because these have more projectiles. Yeah, I'm gonna swap out arcane disc. Like how a firebolt is a physical skill. I guess you can imagine it's like a fire arrow or a fire bullet. Would probably be a lot more useful though, even though this is legendary. It's 2 skills. Ah, screw it. Yeah, pass it up. It's orange. Get this one as well. So yeah, now I'm gonna have a pretty decent damage modifier for a good amount of time. There'll only be like a very short period of time which don't have a damage boost, like this one where arcane multicast chance is still lower. Ooh, thermal shock, definitely getting that. Leviathan. Yeah, why not? Area of effect again, because it's purple. think I have a good mix of skills now. And frailty to just up the damage potential of everything. Ooh, fire shield. Since I do have a burn, as well have more opportunities to burn enemies with. And more opportunities to deal fragile. Yeah, I think dot hacks still might be my like favorite implementation of a dynamic soundtrack because of the way it segues, right? Because the way it works is like the battle part of like the music kind of overlays itself on top of the passive part, so it's a real smooth transition. I think some of the Fire Emblem games do that too, where the map theme, like the battle theme, kind of overlays on the map theme and makes for a real smooth segue when you put them together. It feels real good when they can pull that off. It's cool. I should just keep stacking this. Use my chance of increasing the amount of damage I can deal to them. It's a snowball effect, right? Ooh. Damage modifier. If it does not cause damage, its potency will be raised in kit instead. Yeah, let's do that. Make my buffs even better. Damage modifier. Ooh, this is arcane type. Sure, why not? Make the multicast chance even higher for 10 seconds. It would be nice if I got like a cast frequency in eventually. Slow. Magnetic, cause man, 5 minutes in, only one Lord of the Void has fallen so far. What's my movement bonus? Oh, we're at. I have to assume that means 10% less. That's why it's, or maybe red just means it's like lower than the base level. So it's plus 10, but it's like lower than the plus 25 I started with. Why it's red. And we'll do, yeah, multicast flame wave. Why not? When it pops, boy, it's gonna pop. At this point, I'll go with ailment over more movement reduction. At a certain point, I become like a sitting duck, right? At least not as exactly a sitting duck, but I'm becoming a really slow-moving duck. That other enemies can pick me off pretty easily. Ooh, this one's useful. Dash increase. It would be nice to get something that helps me improve my arcane power skill. Giving more uptime on my multicast buff. Okay, the boss is lower left. Oh boy, it's the fire one. This one has the flamethrower attack. This one always has me worried because that flamethrower goes on for a while, and you gotta work your way around a bit. Let's see, 13 seconds, so I kind of have like a 10 seconds downtime, which I don't have a multicast boost. Probably more wary of giving significant boost for this one because I know multicasting is super potent. The higher you get that, it's a real drastic increase to your DPS if you can get it high enough. Oh, that's another one down. Let's see, level 46. Man, 2 Lords of the Void fallen. 7 minutes. Yeah, we were like 7 minutes in the other times too, so I think I'm running par. I probably should stop being so worried about the timer. Just rain fire and arcane death on all my enemies. But the way these builds go, it kind of reminds me of MapleStory. I remember the magic classes in that game. I've always wondered about like the split of elements they did. So like the 2 elemental mages you can pick from are Ice Lightning Mage and Fire Poison Mage. I've always wondered what their reasoning for that is. Like, what is about fire poison that would make want to group them together? Like, I don't know, if I were to design an RPG, the way I would like split the elements would be like fire, ice, lightning for one class, and maybe earth, water, wind for another class. Like, one of them would deal with like, you know, the more unnatural elements of fire, ice, lightning. The other one would deal with like the earthly elements of earth, wind, water. I think that's how Final Fantasy XIV did it. Like the 2 classes, magic classes they had there were like fire, ice, lightning. So, you know, so like the classic Final Fantasy elemental trio, and then the other one did earth, wind, water. I guess after a certain point, they kind of de-emphasized elements, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's how I would split them. That has been another armchair game design moment by me. We're very close to our Lord of the Void, right there. The Plague Bearer. Oh, that was a health crystal. Shouldn't have popped that one. There we go. Type missile. This works. Oh yes, getting hit by all the arcane orbs. We're stacking those exposed buffs pretty nicely. Boom, boom, boom. Oop, gotta get out of the way. I had my AoE attack, now it's trying its own AoE attack. Can't get me. Aw, yeah. I'm too fast, you're too slow. Or type missile boost, yes please. I have assumed the level there is just kind of give you a visual indicator of how many other powers you've taken to improve that skill. It doesn't really improve the skill by itself, it's just there to let you know how much you've improved it with the other powers you have. There are 250 enemies to the next next Lord of the Void. Yeah, we'll go ahead and increase the potency of that. Where we're at here, 95%. I feel like we might be reaching Nah, no we're not. Damage boost. It's not gonna fall off as much, I think. Would be nice to get a potency boost for the arcane one, though. I know I passed up that other one earlier, but there was the damage one there as well, so I had to make a choice. That was the choice I made. Yeah, why not? 4 dashes. I can just zip around. Give me plenty of opportunities to evade attacks. I have a feeling that might come in handy. I feel like if I get one more dash, I can just dash endlessly. At least have very, very short downtime between dashes. Yeah, there we are. The next Lord of the Fallen. A Chaos Bringer. The one game I've been playing a bit, since I was able to get it for free, like when they were offering it up. Warhammer Vermintide 2. That game, like, pretty fun. It's like medieval Left 4 Dead. I'd admit, my familiarity with the Warhammer universe is not very, very big. But I do have a lot of fun with the aesthetic, the setting, the characters, everything about it. I was able to get some of my friends to pick it up as well, so I've been having fun playing multiplayer. I noticed they have like a mode called Chaos Wastes, which is kind of like their take on a roguelite style of mode. I might be interested in trying that out on stream, like once or twice. See what it's like. I've been leveling up the Elf Ranger Carillion quite a bit. Currently have her in like her handmaiden form, which kind of makes her more of a lancer type because she wields a spear. You can have her wield a spear, have her stab things. Works pretty well as support because, what is it? She revives people faster and gives them more health when they revive. So makes it pretty useful because I can do the thing I always do, which is like usually try to support my teammates. You know, they support me too, so it's all good. It's all cool. I do want to try out the battle wizard as well, Sienna. Because she seems to have an interesting mechanic with overheating and everything. She doesn't have ammo like the other characters, but she does have an overheat meter, and if you like use her fire magic too much, you start taking damage, so you gotta be real careful. It's a cool downtime now. 7 seconds. Alright. Reducing the downtime, just as important as increasing the buff potency. So I pretty much have this damage buff almost in perpetuity here. I'm very close to it. Oh wow, I just realized we're already almost on the last Lord of the Void. Just another 200 enemies to defeat. Be there. Ooh. Took that hit. Critical damage modifier. Because it was green and the others were just white. It's kind of funny how the colors only are the way they are because World of Warcraft just blew up super huge, and that's what the colors they used for rarities. Right? If it's not, if you see rarity colors, it's almost always going to be like white, green, blue, purple, orange, because that's how wild World of Warcraft did it. It's like either that or bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Ooh, finally a slow ailment synergizer. There we go, the final Lord of the Fallen. We have Melee Man. Good thing I got ranged attacks. I can keep a distance. Just poke at him. Kite him, as they say. I swear, there was like one boss when I was trying to do like a Chaos 1 run earlier where it seemed like incredibly spongy. I was like barely able to dent it. I was practically kiting around the boss for like 5 minutes or so until I finally messed up too many times and died. don't know why, like, every other boss I've fought has, like, folded in fairly short order. Right, some of them have, like, folded, like, almost immediately, others tend to not last very long, even. Not sure what the difference is here. Like, I must have really, really messed up the synergy stat run. Like, I could not just, like, get the right things to pop off to get, like, a exponential damage increase. Right, another run complete. Only a 4 curse intensity on this map, so I'm working my way up. Then on a giant stack of useless minor soul stones. I have to assume at some point the game will offer up some way to trade them in for other resources we might need. Could get a critical damage booster. Or just wait and get a damage reduction. And next we're gonna go to the Sentinel. So this one thankfully has just a much more straightforward, better thing, because the skill here better and the stats you get are also pretty good. Minus 15% cast frequency does kind of hurt a little bit, but only a little bit. In any case, I'm just gonna perhaps dial back the curses now. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll actually just stick with this one. Yeah. So now it's all about, like, more prestige. Like the first 2 curse levels was mostly minor soul stones. Now it's like a bigger prestige increase. Oh, wow. And rare minerals also. Alright, well, let's see how this goes. Spread shot will probably come in handy once the enemies start coming in larger numbers. Yeah, spontaneous combustion. Hopefully I could get a thermal shock sometime during this run. Now see here, one of the level 3 curse modifiers was to summon an additional Lord of the Void, so now I gotta defeat 10 of them instead of just 5. On the other hand, if I do defeat more of the bosses, I will get more of the big soul stones, so that's pretty cool. It's projectile. Look at this one. Oh yeah, that's putting in some work right there. Powerful strikes. Increase our experience just a tiny bit. Also increases the range, so doubly useful. Oh man, do I wanna roll this? Yeah, I do. Ah, there we go, split shot. Another missile slash physical. Go with Leviathan. See what my movement boost is. 25%. Okay. This is fine. I'm gonna see if I can get all arrows. Or at least mostly arrows and projectiles for Sentinel because they have a bow. So it just makes sense for them to have a bunch of arrow skills. I wonder if this one has access to explosive shot. Well, I guess bombs kind of make sense too. Also, it applies weakness, so I'll probably just want that in any case. That will do a health boost. Might need it. And again. It was the best color they had. Ooh, shrapnel bomb. Lead. Or I could get disengage, actually. Will reduce their movement speed and increases damage, direct damage. Yeah. Might come in handy. Probably more in handy than a bleeding bomb, sadly. Just keep getting multicast. Oh boy, see some enemies over here. We're about to hit our first Lord of the Void set. Oh, this one's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll get Frostbolt. AC projectile. Be handy. Ah, oh, this is where it's at. Slow can now potentially deal damage booster. So yeah, 2 Lords of the Void, exactly what you think it is. 2 bosses. Combos can vary. Hopefully you don't get a duo that's nigh unstoppable. You can see these folks are going to take a bit to wear down. This means a lot of damage fields I gotta keep my mind on. Be mindful of. Oh man. I can just swap out disengage. Since that's one, it's an explosive. A whole bunch of arrows now. Hopefully I'll get like a slow power at some point. Ah, multicast. There we go. Since I have all physical skills, every single one of them is affected. Let's go. I'll do attack speed for Frostbolt. Just gonna go ahead and swap that out for... Ooh, do spread shot damage modifier actually. I feel like conventional wisdom would be to just like, you know, focus on one skill and pump that up real hard, but kind of want to spread mine out. Alright, so first set of bosses took a bit to go down, but they went down eventually. I wonder if this is a reason why like most of the skills at this point cost like red soul stones, because they expect you to get a lot of them and maybe fewer of the later ones. That's usually how it would go, because you know most people are going to fall before the end of the match, so they might not necessarily get like say the 4th or 5th boss soul stones. Man, just getting a bunch of skills. With Wow. Can either get that. Might actually get this one, right? Even though it's like just an epic power, it affects all 6 of them. I would be foolish not to take it. Get that one as well. Use the damage of the chakram. Can really spread that rot around. You get rot. You get rot. Everyone gets rot. Ah, you know one game I want to play in the future? Armello. That game is like a video game. It was like developed as a video game, but has a very, very tabletop feel to it. The way you roll dice, the way you draw cards and play them, and the way it kind of the way the like map plays out like a board game. They definitely had like a board game in mind when they designed the video game. Yeah, I've noticed I've gone back to playing video game adaptations. I know I've kind of been on and off on that. I'll probably still be on and off of that. I don't wanna. That being said, I don't know. Part of me wants to kind of explore more board games because I feel like board games don't quite get that much attention via streaming, and they're like pretty fun. You know, you want to like perhaps get off the computer or the console for a little bit, and you want to get together with some friends for some offline fun, just to bust out a board game and have some fun with it. And the best part of a board game is like pretty easy to just do house rules, right? Like to kind of change it up a little bit. You don't have to strictly follow the instructions. You can perhaps do your own little modifications here and there to make the experience something more enjoyable for you. Yeah, we'll go with that. There we go. Second set of Lords of the Fallen. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm right in that. Ah, I got hit. Like, I remember, my older brother had, like, a Daytona 500 game. You kind of race Daytona cars around the track. I remember, like designing, like, a separate set of cards that were, like, basically weapons. Think of, like, Mario Kart. You could, like, play them, to, like, affect the track on top of what's already being done on it. So, yeah, it's, it lends itself to board games lend themselves to modability really well. You know, if you're doing it personally. I imagine that's how expansions came to be, too. It's like someone just like messed around with some components and was like, yeah, okay, how can we meaningfully expand the board game in a way? And they figured it out. That's pretty rad. Might actually go with Agile. Give me more of a chance to get out of the way. Alright, still have one Lord of the Fallen to deal with, so I will deal with her accordingly. Alright, she did. Yeah, I was saying, I don't see like a lot of board gaming stuff being streamed, so I want to try to do board game related video game stuff. Ah. That said, I know live streaming board games is probably a bit of a problem because I think the way you want it to work, it would be like a bit more difficult to pull off live. Like, can you imagine like a hand cam stream of a board game or something? You'd have like perhaps a wide overview of the board in question, and you would occasionally have to perhaps hold a component up to the camera, or maybe like if you got good enough with the camera, you could like move it around and zoom in at crucial spots. I imagine this is why like pre-recorded board game videos are perhaps better, because you can do all that stuff and reshoot it and not have to worry about things going awry live. That being said, if I do get the setup going, I want to try my hand at perhaps doing like a tabletop in cam stream. That's like an idea for far off in the future, though. I'm still trying to think of how that might work. It would be pretty cool if I could pull it off, though. Should I get more health? That's the nice thing about it, is that it says your current health is adjusted proportionally, so you get like a small increase of health too, depending. I'm guessing it's like a percentage based on what you had missing. So you'll still have like that amount of percentage health missing. It's a pretty cool way to like handle health restores. Right, it's not like complete free extra health, but it's not like just, you know, completely meaningless either. We're about to approach Lords of the Void set number 3 here. I know the prologue only let you fight 2 Lords of the Void, so things are different there, but I wonder if like the main game has it set in a way that you can't fight the same Lord of the Void twice in the same run. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Okay, these guys are really aggressive. This might be trouble. I'm gonna actually go with Agile here, keep my movement speed up. I feel like Leviathan would not be a good thing to do. Okay. Yeah, wow, lots of long-range attacks. I need to take down one of them as fast as possible. It's always the case with these... well, almost always the case with these types of bosses that have like multiple people in the fights. It's like you usually want to focus fire on one to kind of decrease their threat and the amount of potential damage they can deal and the amount of area denial they can deal and all that stuff. There's like very rarely a case where you kind of want to keep them both alive as long as they can. Because that's the other thing they like to try to bamboozle with. Like, yeah, like you defeat one half of the enemy, the other half suddenly becomes incredibly fearsome and becomes much more difficult than if you just let them both alive individually. So I guess challenge 1 is to figure out what kind of boss they are, and then challenge 2 would be to deal with them accordingly. And it's especially challenging for the ones where you have to keep them both alive, because it's like, alright, I want to try to whittle them both down steadily and make sure that they don't outpace the one, so I don't inadvertently kill one and put the other remaining boss in like super mode. Or at the very least, deal with super mode for as little time as possible. At least something you gotta keep track of. I'll go with split shot attack speed. I do like they call it cast frequency, so since like not every at least that terminology is clear. At least, you know, it means how often it'll be cast, whereas attack speed could either refer to, say, how frequently the attack comes, or the speed of the actual attack itself, like how fast a projectile goes, how fast the swing is, that kind of thing. Ooh, getting bounced around like a tennis ball around here. See there, I went with an anachronistic setting inappropriate metaphor there. Or who knows, I don't know. Maybe they do have like fantasy tennis in here, who am I to say? Alright, should probably take out Chaos Bringer first, since they got the big long range attacks. I think about it, is that like the second time I've seen Chaos Bringer? Okay. So maybe you can encounter a Lord of the Fallen more than once. It's just that the early access version has more Lords of the Fallen, so you're less likely to encounter the same one unless you're like doing multiples like I am right now. We'll go with spontaneous combustion. I do have a thermal shock, right? Yeah, they are getting chunked fairly reasonably, so I think I'll be okay. Ah, almost got one. Why not? Make myself even faster. Yeah, that's right. Running circles around you. Ooh, oh boy. Almost got me with their whirligig. Their blender. I almost became a sentinel smoothie. Ooh, man. Just saying that gave me the chills. Oh hey, I defeated them. Alright. And we're pretty close to the last Sentinel set, or last Lord of the Void set. $300 enemies to go. I wonder if I should have said this earlier, but you may be wondering why I'm playing a game like this. I'm wondering if I'm playing a place in the future. This is yes, but it's not going to be like the weekly replay like I would normally do on Fridays. I'm only doing this on Friday because next week it's going to be Thanksgiving in the USA, and I'm going to be visiting my family then. So there'll probably be very, very few streams next week. So I'm just doing little one-offs for now. So I don't want to start anything and then have to make people wait a week for the next stream of it. I want to try to at least keep those going with some degree of frequency. Imagine if I like started a game that I was going to play later now, and then you have to wait 2 weeks for the next stream. It's a little longer. I imagine people will be fine with it, but you know, still definitely would throw you for a bit if you're used to, like, say, a weekly return to games like I would normally do. So I admit, I was not expecting to beat Cat Quest so soon. Probably helps that, like, you know, you only get like 50% of overall completion when you finish the main plot. I could have gone back and just, you know, streamed more of that, but really, I think you kind of got the idea of what Cat Quest was like after those 2 streams. You know, it's just run around, kill enemies. You know, it's real cute, it's real charming, but I imagine that game will probably wear out its welcome a little more quickly. This Eternal Guardian is proving to be not too bad. I just have to be mindful of that beam. Oh, wow. Alright, where's the other one? Oh, right there. Yeah, Prophetess. I think I faced her before. It is early access. I do wonder what other Lords of the Fallen they have planned. I think the game that I'm gonna start playing when I come back the week after next will probably be Shadows over Loathing. They mentioned on Twitter. I was like super surprised. He just kind of dropped it out of nowhere. So yeah, I want to jump into that as soon as I can. Oh man, I think what surprised me the most, asymmetric, just freaking retweeting that. I was like, I did not see that coming. I didn't even like put any hashtags or anything on it. Like, I have to imagine, you know, whoever's running the asymmetric Twitter account probably went and searched for Shadows of Loathing mentions on Twitter, and just went and like retweeted everyone who brought it up, at least positively. And hey, that's like pretty freaking rad, right? Like, yay. They're looking out. I think when I do start my Shadows over Loathing streams, I'll probably do hashtags and see if asymmetric retweets those as well. Ah, man. But I'll be doing like 2 weeks after. So... hopefully they'll still have it in them to retweet everyone who's looking forward to this stuff, because I really want to play it. It's just that with Thanksgiving coming up, I don't want to start it and then have to put it on hold. There we go. Look at that. 2 soul stones of each type, so... once you hit curse level 3, you can really build up these major soulstone collections. I want to jump in here just to see what curse 4 is like. Revenge of the Void. Trying to kill an enemy 10%. Oh, okay, that one is healing 10% more frequently. Occasionally, a Pillar of Despair will spawn, casting powerful spells at you until destroyed. Ooh, wow, this is it's got +2. Alright, well. Now let's see if I can get anything from the skill tree. Have 5 of the minor one. I have 5 of the corrupted ones, so I could. I'll get damage reduction. Why not? Ooh, and this one just requires 3, so yeah, let's do that. Alright. And I'm stuck on red again until I defeat more first bosses. A long way to go for this one. I was almost at 10, but I spent 3 for damage reduction, so we're back. We're taking back a little bit, but that just takes a few runs. I can forge weapons. I don't think I reached prestige level 10 with any of the other characters, so yeah. And runes are still out of my reach for now. I really can't wait. But yeah, this has been a look at Soulstone Survivors. I will probably do a few more runs and then maybe revisit it after a couple of updates and see what else is new. Or maybe if I like get some of the stuff like the runes and alternate weapons and new characters, I might revisit that anyway. But yeah, I think that will do it for Soulstone Survivors. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow to take another look at 30XX. I think I looked at that like way back in May? Yeah, they've updated it a lot since then. I've seen to have like new features, new augments to pick up, some reworks to the characters, and enemy balances and layouts and stuff. So yeah, I'm eager to see how it plays these days. Yeah, hope to see you there. Have a nice rest of your night.